Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the end of season edition of Hot Talk. I'm going to say thank you very much, Mr. VW, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for having me on this evening. Hope all as well.
Yeah, nice to have you on, man. VW is always in the comments, always got something positive to say and a wealth of knowledge. So it's great to have him on the show.
Thank
Brother
you.
Stoney, it feels like a minute, man.
Do you know what, Artie? It feels like the last time I was on was last season. It seems so long ago. But yeah, teething problems and life has probably just prevented me from joining the show. But glad to be back. And as you said, even though we know it's going to be the last possible show of this current season, I'm here anyway. So yeah, thanks for allowing me to come and join, man.
No, it definitely won't be the last. We'll be back with some transfer updates. Don't worry about that. Yeah, we have to keep them hot off the press. You get me? Have to, man. Have to. First off, gentlemen, we are just gonna quickly just send our thoughts, and that goes out to all those who were injured at the parade. That madman. So yeah, definitely sending our thoughts and prayers goes out to all those injured. I hear that there's still 11 people in hospital at this present time, still receiving treatment. So yeah. Our thoughts and prayers goes out to them.
Most definitely. Yes.
And a massive shout goes out to Des B. Thanks for joining us. Nice to have you on board, my brother. So yeah, that was a I don't even know what the words to use, man, on what should have been such a great occasion. Very, 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 very sad, I must say. And questions need to be asked how that was allowed to happen, to be fair. How he was allowed to get a car in there and be driving around with all those people out on the road. Questions really need to be asked. Yeah, and some people need to be held accountable as well. I'll definitely say that much. Yeah. Even on that topic, I don't know if you lot heard, but there was a comedian who's been banned and a lot of his tour have been cancelled because he thought it'd be funny to have a joke about the incident at the parade. Like,
yeah,
I know the mind boggling.
It's crazy. Even when you mention it, Marty, I think everything about it is actually quite unsettling as well, because it's obviously happened at somewhere where there's a lot of people in close proximity. And I'm thinking when we've probably been to parades or we've been to festivals or carnivals and XYZ. That there, when the imagery started to unfold, for me, I'm just saying it was extremely unsettling because it seemed like that vehicle came from nowhere. I mean, we would have seen the imagery and the videos afterwards, and you're right, at some stage, collectively, there were people that do need to be held accountable for it. And my initial thoughts was, how on earth was that vehicle able to even get that close to the crowd? I think, and I could be completely incorrect, I think some people were saying that he was able to gain access because I think it was an ambulance route.
Yeah, he followed an ambulance.
Followed an ambulance route. And there's been different context about what state of mind the person was in and the reason why he drove his vehicle in the manner in which he did. But yeah, it was just very, very, very unsettling. Artie, watching that, very unsettling, man.
Yeah.
Not good at all.
Yeah, no. I totally agree with Stoney. But very unsettling. A message come through in one of the chat groups just around about literally 6:05, hearing that there's been this incident, and I was like, please God, no, let that be just a like a joke. Or when I say a joke in poor taste, but rumor mill, so to speak. And then very, very quickly, obviously the videos, and it's just so shows you the internet today, how quickly something can just get transmitted into across the globe so quickly. So even before you have your own time to censor check whether you want to watch something or not, I've clicked on it, I've seen it, and I'm like, oh mate, this is a lot. And I think obviously it's really sad for what's happened for the families and the whole city and as a whole. But it's almost like you don't even get to enjoy the moment. Last time when we won the league, there was no fans. The fans
Yeah.
didn't get to celebrate. They didn't get to really enjoy it in a way because of COVID. This time now, you've had most probably one of the most amazing days to show to the world about what Liverpool Football Club means to the city, what winning that title meant to the city. And it's just been perfect. And then it's, it's taken some shine off it, in my own opinion, personally.
Definitely.
I've wanted to post things about the celebrations since Sunday or since Monday, and I've not it's not felt quite right to do that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that, man. I hear you. And you have to think as well, it's not just adults, kids are injured, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, when people gone up there with their families and everything, just to have a good time, and then this happens. And they're saying that the guy was under the influence of some kind of substance or whatever. But yeah, people need to be held accountable, man, because it could have. Thankfully, no one died. There was no fatalities.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I have to say. But that them things, they have long-term effects as well on people, man. Mentally, people could be mentally scarred, especially kids. You know what I mean? You could be mentally scarred, man. Yeah, it's terrible, man. Yeah, and we all second your thoughts, man, on that. Definitely, as you said, prayers and thoughts goes out to all those injured, 100%. Liverpool made history, man. 1.5 million people at that parade. Not even the bad weather. Damn, man. We shut down train stations and all sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm hearing stories of some astronomical prices for people who I know had to pay Ubers to get back because they couldn't get back on the train, and crazy. One of the guys actually said, the one who I told you was going back to Stockwell, and he was charged £465 in an Uber. When he heard the price, he actually went to see if he could get a hotel room, and they were charging grands.
People cash in.
Because I said to myself, I said, unless I go and get a hotel room and pay the £200 or whatever. They wanted $2.5 grand for one night.
Yeah. That's correct, Artie. And before we came on show, like I was mentioning, I had provisionally started going up from the Tuesday to come down to go up on the Monday morning to come back down on the Tuesday. And I think prices up until probably about 3 o'clock on the Sunday to travel up from Euston up to Lime Street, first or second or third train, you could probably get about £40 ticket going up. If you wanted anything after 11, you were looking at probably between £200 to £245 just for the single to go up to Lime Street, right? So anything after 11. Coming back down on the Tuesday, anything after 7 o'clock, the same thing, over £200. Accommodation you were mentioning as well. So I was checking on Airbnb. Even Premier Inn, we're charging £493 for one night. One night. So there would have been a premium for people doing Airbnbs, XYZ. I mean, for businesses, it would have been good. But for the average Joe going up there, it would have been quite heavy on the pocket.
Yeah, that's disgraceful, man. Disgraceful. I don't know how you can justify charging grands, man. That's disgraceful.
The economy of the city, the economy of the city for that weekend must be through the roof.
Yeah.
In terms of restaurants, pubs, hotels, and anywhere, like the sports shops, the Liverpool FC shop.
Can you imagine?
That must be, yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I know there's the one at the club, and then there's the nice one in the town centre as well.
Yeah.
It must have been crazy, but also these prices would have been going up week on week, because from when the league was won, people would have been booking tickets to go up.
Oh yeah.
So the fact that you're getting quoted those prices maybe a week on the weekend of it makes no surprise. And there'll be naturally there'll be tourists up there anyway, because Liverpool's quite a historic city. The docks, the cabin, it's all the Beatles and all that. So there will be people up there maybe from planning their week's holiday anyway. So it makes sense that the prices maybe shot the way they did.
Yeah, it's bad though, because even though, you know, it's like some people who can't afford to go, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
so
priced out.
You know what I mean? It's terrible, but you have to think of it. If you're a business like a hotel and that, you all right, you know what? You might bump up the price a little bit, man. But you know what? Chances are you are going to be packed to the rafters anyway.
Yeah.
On that weekend. So to put the price to them kind of levels, come on, man. Yeah. To be honest,
I think
I don't care what event it is. I'm not paying it.
But there will be people. There will always be. But and you know what, Marty? For the people that won't, there will be lots of people who will. So you think of it like if we were taking an Uber, and it was peak, we're paying a certain price for the same journey after 12 o'clock off peak. The price is near enough, you know, cut in half. And I suppose the same thing you were mentioning about the businesses. It's like during COVID, how much were people paying for the little hand sanitizer? Because it was supply and demand, didn't it? And there's no justification for it. I agree with you. There's no justification. But for as much as the prices went up, people are thinking, all right, it's crazy, but I'm still going to pay it. So it's quite hard, really.
It is definitely. Gonna say even first, CW, nice to have you on board, sir. And Mr. CW says that he was up there for the trophy lift on the Sunday, first time witnessing us lift the trophy in front of fans. And he did go to the parade. He said he will remember it for all the good reasons. Big shouts goes out, Mr. B. Nice to have you on board, sir. What team is it you support again? No, don't worry, man. I'll see you in Europe next season. Oh no, you're not in Europe next season, are you? Oh my days. 17th, bro.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, let that one sink in, man. Let that one sink in. Yeah, man, definitely let that one sink in. Crystal Palace, Liverpool. Another one of those abysmal first half performances, man. Another one. Gentlemen, is this what we got to look forward to next season?
Nah, the guys are on the beach, man. They won the league with about 4 games to spare. It's the motivation must be so hard. It must be so hard because you it's not even like you've got. And I don't mean in any arrogant sort of way, but it's not even like you've got a team 2 or 3 points behind you or a point behind you to keep the motivation to try and win these games. You've won it with like 4 games to spare. So I just think they've been on holidays. The training's most probably, as much as the training's been most probably the same as it's been mentally. You know, I mean, you're kind of switched off.
So what? Palace won a trophy. They were on the as well. Like, come on. They put in a good performance in the first half.
Nah, I think it's different context in a little way. I think I agree with Vinny. We were.
Oops, you're frozen, Stoney.
Visible on.
You were frozen. You were frozen there for a minute, Stoney.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. There was some nice touches that were visible on the last game there, the Guard of Honor from Palace to Liverpool and vice versa. I thought that was a nice touch from both clubs personally. The atmosphere was amazing. But yeah, I just think it was one of those things similar to Vinny. I think we had won the league at a canter. I don't think we needed to, and I'm trying to think in previous leagues, but you guys correct me on this, all right? So I think when City had won the league and when we had won the league, sometimes there were games still going because I think there were points total that they were trying to actually get.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why there was just that still strong emphasis emphasis afterwards in terms of getting certain points. And I could be completely incorrect here, all right? So if I am, you guys just pull me up on this. I think Liverpool had won the league and there wasn't any emphasis on getting any other points per se. So probably similar to what Vinny was saying, is like the league's been done now. We're in a good position. And yeah, I think it is what it is. I don't think yeah, I don't know, because you're right. It's a strange one, Artie, because even when it wasn't even just a Palace game, it was a couple of other games. Even with the Chelsea game
after beating Tottenham.
Yeah, I was almost at some stage getting frustrated with myself, but then also taking a step back, and exactly what Vinny said. We've won the league. Take a step back. You're right. Party mode. There would have been different celebrations. There probably would have been a lot of functions that the players had to attend. Training would possibly been completely different. And there would have been so many firsts for a lot of players there and the coaching staff. And I think it was just an opportunity to celebrate on a season where we really weren't in a reckoning really to win the league. And the fact in which we did it, in the manner in which we did it, with games to spare, I think it was one of those, you know what? The fans aren't going to be unsettled. You know, they're not going to be chanting or doing anything unsavory. We just have to ride it out now. And so yeah, I think it was almost as if, you're right, once we won the league, all of the other games were like training or like pre-season friendlies, really. So yeah, it was just hard.
I hear what you're saying, but the reason why I say that, and the reason why I feel like I do, is because we've been playing like that most of the season.
True. That's true.
That's the reason why.
That's fair enough.
Most of the season, I'd say 80% of the season, we've had poor starts, and then we've been looked good in the second half. So it's just like we just continue with the norm.
Oh, that's
but could that also be a reflection, though, as to, I'm sure we'll touch on it during the course of the show, where you're seeing the changes that Slot wants to make and the signings, which are now rumored to be talked about in terms of who's coming in, because it's always felt like we're just doing enough throughout the season.
Yeah.
I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, and again, I don't want to take away from what being just the most incredible season to witness us win the league, but I think at times it's felt a little bit, and when we won it, it felt a little bit anticlimactic because of the gap.
Yes,
and
there was no like the suspense and you know what I mean, the anxiety. There was none of that.
Yeah,
none of that.
And if you asked me at the start of the season, did I want to win the league by 20 points with 4 games to spare? I'll say yes, and I'll still say it now. But then the actual feeling when you're getting there, it is almost like, and maybe it's just the human nature, you want that little bit of pressure when it's not there. But when it's there, you don't want it there. You get what I'm saying, right? Yeah. So there's that. And I also feel like I just feel that the team is still learning under Slot. And it says a lot about Slot and the team, that once they're learning in a new way of playing under a new coach, they've been able to perform at the level they have. And then by winning the league and then winning the league, I kind of just feel like it's subconsciously and unintentionally, I think they just slipped off.
Yeah. No, I do feel that as well. You know what? The league was done. You've been on a holiday and all that. You've been celebrating, partying like you know what I mean. I do believe, but I still do believe as well. It did mirror 80% of our season, to be fair. And I'm also a believer of the final game. You're at home. You want to go out on a high, man. You know what I mean? You want to go out on a high. You know what I mean?
Palace were on it, though, you know.
That's just what I'm saying.
Palace were on it. I think, like, I tell you who I thought had a good game for Palace, and it's quite interesting actually, because their contract's going to expire at the end of this season. Mitchell, their left back.
Oh, Tyreek Mitchell.
I think gave the assist for Sarr for the goal. But I thought he had a very, very, very good game up against Bradley in the game as well. But yeah, I don't know. I always, even before the show, I was trying to think, and I'm quite conscious of, and I'm using this expression for myself, right, about not nitpicking about the game, because there was so much to be celebrating. And then I look at the game and I think, you know what? Come on, Stoney, man. Like, you're asking too much here at the moment. And us winning in the manner in which we did, and I'm speaking about the league, it means that we're still in a good position and the other teams in the league have to perform. The fact that Man City or Newcastle or Chelsea or Villa, didn't finish in the position, or even Nottingham Forest, didn't finish in the positions that they probably thought that we're not at fault. But the fact that, as he said, we can just finish, go Ibiza, and roll out the rest of the season, then I suppose it's a positives. And bearing in mind as well, we've had some games this season where I think we said, "Ooh, I think we're a little bit lucky there to actually have got a draw," So we're there, we're in a good position. And yeah, I think it's an opportunity. And you know what? Even if they do the little remix, we won the league at the Canter, and when we also got to the final. Yes, I understand we got beaten, but we still got to the final as well. For me, there was so much stuff to celebrate for this season. The last 4 games, if we didn't play at the level that we possibly should have, I'm going to give that a pass, man. I'm good with that. I can handle that.
So Desby says, since we won the league, our performance dropped, foot off the pedal. We have also had a long season by going deep in 2 cups.
And also as well, the other thing as well, and Desby's right, our squad itself has been a very small squad. Yeah. If you think of the squad of players that Slots used this season, a lot of those players have played a lot of games, so that may have been it as something as well. But yeah, either way, we're good.
And I think it says a lot, right, about just the whole feeling around towards the end of the season that we lost to Brighton, but the fans were cheering, happy as Larry. Yeah, happy as Larry. That's what I mean. It's a bit bizarro land, isn't it? Like, they're singing and they're celebrating. We lost to Brighton. So at this point, it also kind of shows you, again, what you were saying earlier, Artie, about having that motivation to push on with certain situations. If you think about the 2 times we finished behind City, it was lever for lever, right? In terms of the points, those seasons really showed you that you had to be almost perfect because of the competition you had. They had to be almost perfect to get for us, and we had to be almost perfect for them. This season, you haven't had to be perfect. This season, we've been pretty much perfect in a transitional period. I think I know I'm going all over the houses here, but to come back to it, let's remember this is a transitional season for us. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go into another transitional season now because there's going to be so many people coming in and coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Very true.
Very it's true. All good.
Gonna send a big shout goes out to Curtis. Thanks for joining us, Curtis. Big shouts goes out to you. Don't forget, everybody, hit that like, that share, that subscribe. Is Chris got to apologize for saying we won't get worse? CW says, apologize for what? It's an opinion. I have to keep pretending it's a dream, but it's actually reality. We are finally a serious club.
And you know what? What's interesting is I know they're going to be watching the show. Good evening, Sherwin. I know you're going to be watching the game. And he said he don't mind me calling his name. He's one of my colleagues from work. When I'm at work, I tend not to speak too much about football. But there's a community of us that do actually support Liverpool, and a small little team across the road from where I work, that the bridesmaid team. So what was so interesting, when I go into work, I tend not to speak about football, but when I saw Sherwin, Sports Liverpool as well, bro, we was hugging like he was my long lost brother.
Yeah,
so you know, like you said, there's little moments that kick in, like you were saying. We won the league and it was like, okay, cool. So wait for the celebration, wait for the parade. It's only when I saw this gentleman at my workplace kicked in again, you know what? Yeah, you're right. We have won the league. And it's like, let's celebrate this.
Of course.
So, yeah, beautiful, man.
Of course, man. Big shouts goes out, Mr. Brighton. Big shouts goes out to you. Yep, you're right, Chris. It's not confirmed. He said, yeah, PTSD. Yeah. Scott also only trusts some players. We didn't have the squad to give players rest and maintain the quality. That is definitely a big point because that's something we've been talking about. Why is it that other players are not getting a chance to rest and whatever? And I think, to be fair, there's been a few who have been given a chance and they've not really lived up to it. So Slot has been like, you know what? These are the guys who I can trust and this is who I'm going with.
And you know, it's interesting, Artie, that they're talking about even you might now start to see another transition in the league and clubs where managers don't want big squads because apparently Pep's saying, I only want to work with a core set of people.
Yes.
If you try and enforce a certain amount of people on me, I'll go. So again, you're now seeing a transition because it must be emotionally taxing, right? Like if you've got a squad of like 24, 25, as a manager, don't get me wrong, we know managers can be ruthless and so forth, and they have to do what's best for the team, best for the club. But to have certain players who are sitting there and they're never playing, that must be it must be jarring on you as a coach to be saying, sorry, you're not playing this week. You are good enough, but you're just not fitting into what I want. So I get it. You don't want that pressure. You don't want all those people walking around who aren't getting picked, negative energy and so forth. Keep your small core players and move from there. So it's going to be interesting, I think, to see how things move on.
Yeah, I hear that.
It's
I hear
with
that small core of players, but they have to be careful as well. Because when you're talking about teams like Liverpool, City and that, they're up there with the elites, man, and they're in every competition. And they normally go to every competition. So you have to think about fatigue and injuries, man. These are the things you have to think about. That might come back to bite you. You feel me? When you ain't got that squad, and then what you're going to turn around and say? When you have options to have them players there, do you know what? That shouldn't be your lookout. My thing is this. I don't care if I've got to have a squad of 24. All right, cool. But I know who I want to be playing. And if you're performing for me and you're playing, fine. If you get injured or whatever, then I've got someone to draw for.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's my lookout. If you're not in the team, that's the point of you being a manager. Manage. Yeah. And that's one of the things you have to manage. So I don't really agree with him saying that. Oh, I don't want to be a full squad. I want to have that squad, especially if you're at my team. I'm like, yo, you're ramping with us here, mate. You get a couple injuries, and then what you're gonna tell me? Yeah, no. Sorry.
You're right. It's almost trying to get the balance right, isn't it? Because if we look at Chelsea as an example, I think they've got 44 players, haven't they, in their squad? That is bananas.
And the rest.
So, yeah, that is just wow.
Yeah, Chelsea was a madness, so they were just doing stupidness and just buying players. And thought at one point they were just buying players to stop other people buying, and then they were just trying to buy the young talent, just going crazy. And then they had like 20 players out on loan. You know what I mean? At one time, kind of thing. It was crazy.
And when you think about the players which have not even who they let go, like Mark Guay at Palace, you know, and the players who are playing overseas in Italy and so forth, the amount of players they've had pass through that club is insane.
So Chris says that season is 10-10. We were unknown coming into the season with Slot taking over Klopp's players. Could have easily downed tools, but did complete opposite and thrived with the new voice.
Yeah, 1000%. And you know what? We've got to give kudos to this squad that's played this season. You think about it, right? When Alisson was out for as long as he was, Kelleher, perfect job.
Yeah.
Perfect job. when Trent's not been there, Bradley's been good enough to get us to where we are today. Robbo's not had his best season. Robbo's powers are starting to show that he's maybe on the other side now of the hill, right? Tsimikas has come in and done a job. Do you know what I mean? I would call it now in hindsight, whether people like it or not, that makeshift front line that we have. It's not up to standard, but they've got us through. Do you know what I mean? The best thing about our season, I think, from a player perspective, has been goalkeeper or goalkeepers, defence, and the middle.
Oh yeah, definitely, by far, definitely, 100%, 100%. I have to agree. Gonna send a massive shout goes out to Amit. Amit, I tell you, I'm not gonna afraid, bro. He had us a bit worried, man. When after the Amit was up at the parade, and I sent out a message in the group, you marked yourself safe. And in this particular group, everybody had marked themselves safe apart from Amit. And man was calling him saying they can't get through phones off, they can't get through to him. So yeah, for a little while they was a bit worried, man. And then later on, he just swans back in as normal and said, "Oh yeah, man, I'm cool, man. Just bad reception. I'm good, man. Enjoying himself." Big shouts goes out to you, Amit. We said we could hear them crying in Turin. Easy, Amit. He said the soundtrack of the summer. You can still hear it ringing in his ears. Oh, I could imagine. Mate. Must have been a wonderful experience, I must say. So yeah, and then how glad were you, gents, that Salah managed to get the goal to come and touch on the record?
It was interesting. It was two things, because in the game it appeared that he was trying to assist more. So he seemed like he was trying to set players up more than actually going for goal. And in my head, I was thinking, is he going? I know that he was looking to, equal or beat the record. But with him trying to lay other players on, I was thinking, is it the assist that he wants to beat the record, or was it the actual goal? I didn't realize that it was the either, because it had to be the combination of.
Yes.
But what was so interesting with that record, they've mentioned before, he got it. Shearer got it when they were in the 42 game season XYZ. I was thinking, if our other offensive line were more clinical, Salah would have broken that record months ago,
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking the amount of chances that he's even laid on for a lot of those other forwards. And their finishing has been woeful for some of them. Absolutely woeful. Yeah. So I think he would have beaten that record ages ago. But I was happy for him, Marty. Very happy for him.
Man, definitely. No worries, brother Amit, man. No worries. Right back at you, my bro. No worries, man. Come on, we look out for our own, man. That's why we say you never walk alone. So it was good to see Salah getting that and equaling that record. I would have liked to beat it, but you know what? It's an amazing season, especially at that later stage of his career as well, to come and do that. I think that's absolutely amazing. Is he going to be able to keep this up, gentlemen?
I personally think that he'll play a different role again next season if we get the rumored signings. Yeah.
Okay.
I think his role will change again next season.
So Des says, so if we get Frimpong, Kerkez, Witzer, and a new striker, is that enough for next season? And then also, who needs to go?
Oof.
No, it's not enough for next season. But I still feel that we need covering the midfield and a centre back.
And I still think we need another offensive player. So whether it's a striker or we corner.
So how many attackers do you want to have, bro? You want to play?
No, I'm thinking of this, right? No, watch this. So we're looking at the Debs has mentioned, right? So if we get Frimpong, who's it said Kirkes, right? So if we think of it like that, right? Those two initial players, they defensive, left back and right back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we've
Wirtz.
got Wirtz. He's more of an offensive midfielder. Am I correct in saying
10.
that?
He's a number 10.
Right, number 10. So if you think of it then, right, in my opinion, if he's going to play as a number 10, who's going to play as the number 9? So in my, that's what I said. We're
talking about getting a new striker.
All right, brilliant. Okay, so so then another defender. I agree with you in saying that. And there's going to be, so who's coming in? So we've got the goalie that's going to be coming in for Valencia. That's out on loan, right?
Yeah.
Coming back for us.
Mm-hmm.
Do we see Ben Doik just being collateral now and moving on for money? Or do you see him featuring in the squad for next season?
Depend. For me, because I think a big part of that will be if Eze stays at Palace, because Palace have been interested in him for a little while. Doik.
Okay.
Right. If Eze definitely goes, then he can definitely get into Palace, I reckon.
Okay. We'll have Stefan back on loan as another I see who else is out on loan? Oh, Calvin Ramsey. So then we're going to end up having 3 right backs. I'm just thinking of my head about squad, right? I'm only thinking here in my own head. Nat Phillips, we know, is going to move on, and we'll get money for Nat Phillips. And the same thing with Reece Williams, right? So I'm just thinking money. I'm just thinking in my own head. I wonder if any of our development players that have gone out on loan when they come back, those are the ones that have played for under 21s, how they'll actually feature in a squad next season. Will there be 1 or 2 that has more game time with the actual first team squad? That's what I'm thinking in my own head.
The talk is that Slot wants to try and give some of them younger players a chance.
Right.
He wants to have a proper look at them and give them a chance to see what they can do.
Yeah.
So that is a positive.
Yeah. Because I know we'll
Troy Nuni and that.
Yeah, because I know we'll have money to spend over the summer. So we'll obviously look to see who we're bringing in. Do you know something? This is a crazy thing. How old is? I'm not saying that we need another number 6 at the moment, and we could probably do with another number 6, right? Just there. How old is? Oh my gosh, this is going to annoy me. What England manager was it that played Gomez? You know Gomez that used to play for Man United, and did he go to Lille?
Yes, the young man got Lille. Yes.
Lille.
Yes.
Yeah. How old is he? Because he's on a free. I think he's about 24. There was one of the England managers that played him in. I wasn't dreaming, was I? He did play in one of the England games.
Yeah, he did. I think it wasn't Southgate. It was the young man. Is it Lee Carsley? Is that the one who? Yeah, is it Carsley was covering? He picked him.
Thank you.
This is why you see when I talk about Vinny. This is what I'm talking about.
That's what I was saying. Thank you. So even somebody like, for me, like Gomez, who Liverpool can actually get on a free, I would actually look to actually get him to come in for us, and we could probably get him for about 20 mil. I wouldn't mind him actually coming in. I think he's had an amazing season at Lille. I know we'll be spending money, but if we are able to bolster and strengthen the squad in certain positions, and I will, then I would like that. And the reason why I'm saying that is it will be interesting to see what role Endo plays next season in Liverpool, and whether he remains with us or whether he moves on.
Bit part. He's happy to stay. He said it as well. He's happy to stay because he's happy that he's just part of Liverpool. He knows he's not going to get much game time.
Yeah,
he'll be used as being as the closer, coming on closing up games. And you know what? If we do get a Carling Cup game against Harrow Borough, you know what I mean?
you know. But you know, Artie, you know that there's three forwards that are all on a free this summer, you know.
Leroy Sané,
Messi, Neymar, and Ronaldo.
I beg you. What, they going forward on the Zimmer frame?
They reckon that Sané's going to go Arsenal.
Yeah. Well, that's the
talk. That's the talk.
Yeah. Arsenal are very interested in it.
Talking about Gomez though, the Leo Gomez. It's funny that no one's really talking about him.
That's what I'm saying, Vinny.
It's interesting. No one, you know, when you talk about all the names, his name's really not being mentioned.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we never know, man. We never know what's going on behind the closed doors.
No.
You never know. Let's have a butcher's here. So, let's see what's going on in the comments. Fitzwarren reckons Alvarez is a striker.
Is that the guy from Atletico?
Yeah. And what I said about Salah, CW saying CR7 still has good goal average at his age. So why can't Salah? They've got athletes' bodies. Nunes only turned up for the Brentford away. And we still have that youth we stole from Chelsea.
Oh, the young forward that played on the left-hand side for us. Is he 16 or 16-year-old?
Oh, yes.
16-year-old?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so Chris says, I would like a centre-back, a DM cover for Gravenberch, and a striker. I only think we're getting a centre-back and a striker to add to the other three. I think House Kira Endo will stay, and Bajcetic might stay too.
I want to see Bajcetic get a chance now.
Oh, yeah, you see. Chris Wells agrees. Yep, Lee Carsley played him. Des B says to go. Kelleher, Elliott, Tsimikas, Nunes, Doik, and Gomez.
I can see that being realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rio. Oh my, that's it.
Yes, that's correct.
Yo, why not, man? Why can't he be our Lamine Lamar, man? Get me. Man said Wharton for Elliott.
Crystal Palace, boy. I don't mind that trade, but yeah, Chris, that's going to be their boy as well. So are Crystal Palace in Europe?
Yeah.
Yes,
they're in the Europa League. Yeah.
Got Europa League, okay.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Elliott's definitely gone. He done a post which kind of indicated that he is.
Yeah, I saw that.
The one I feel sorry for the most is Joe Gomez.
Yep.
Because I think Joe Gomez still most probably has a part to play at Liverpool. And anywhere else he would go, with the exception of maybe Man City and Arsenal, he would be a first team pick. And I don't even think he's 27 yet. I don't even think he's 27 yet.
No, he's 28. He's 28 because you're not. Vinny,
he's 28 now. Oh wow,
yeah, he's 28. So it's almost. I don't know, and I've said it. If you can watch back on the show, I don't know with Gomez. I don't know.
I'd still like to keep him. And the simple reason why is because of his versatility to play right across the back line. So I think it's.
Sorry, go on. I think it says a lot, and I know it's a few years back now, but when he was fit and when he was available, he was like starting for Gareth Southgate, and to me, that says a lot. It might not say a lot about because people may not rate Gareth Southgate, but when you think about the centre backs, what England had at that point, you had Stones, you had Maguire, and whoever. He was getting picked when he was fit and available, and I think it shows that. I think he's probably still got those qualities, but It's just the injuries, man. It's just so sad. It's so sad.
It is. He was one hell of a player.
And I think the issue would probably be with Gomez. I think his contract's up to 2027. With him, I think a lot of his injuries have been like muscle injuries.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they've kept him out for long periods of time. So you're right. As much as he is versatile. I think we're probably at a stage now where I'm being selfish here, by the way, in saying this. I just want players that we're going to be able to rely on. And I'm not saying no player goes out there to injure themselves. I'm not even saying that's the situation with Gomez, because I think the last 2 injuries he's had have both been hamstring injuries, and they've kept him out for long periods of time. If we're going to be making sure we're looking to push again for the league, if we're going to be making sure we're fighting for the FA Cup, the Champions League, and the league.
Oops, you froze there, Stoney.
So where that leaves Gomez, I'm not too sure. I don't know.
Okay, so West Ham and Leeds have joined in with Brentford in the race to sign Kelleher, and they're talking about Liverpool value the keeper at around 20 mil. I think that's a bit of a steal. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a steal, man.
Yeah, and you know what I was saying in a group earlier, I think he would be perfect for Villa.
Yeah. Oh well, Villa apparently are also interested now because Martinez is meant to be going.
Yeah. He's going. So that's why I'm surprised that I'm thinking he's a first team goalkeeper. He's a first team goalkeeper.
And you know what? That could work in our favor.
I can see that.
That could start a bidding war. You know what I mean? With all them people
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
If you want him, pay the dosh. But what's about if they're saying that Kelleher is 20 million? What's about this one then?
Wow.
Liverpool want around 50 mil if Jarell Quansah left the club this summer.
Do you know the thing is, I would not put it past Richard Hughes and Edwards being there, and that is on its truth. So as much as we were speaking about the price for Kelleher and also for Quansah, I could actually see those prices. I really could, or even more. But boy, I would want Quansah to stay. I don't think. I know Liverpool have got money in the bank. And I know we would have acquired more from this season, but I don't think we need the 50 mil on a player that we're still developing. So I would like for Quansah to remain just to see how he develops further as a defender. And I'm gonna put something even more. I think he's worth more than 50 mil, and the reason why I say that is.
Oh wow!
There's usually a premium on non-English players. He's actually the main defender for the under-21s at the moment. Under-21s have got the tournament this summer as well. So let's see how good Quansah plays. Remember, if he plays at the 3, he plays. If they play at the 4, he plays as well. So I would push it and say even more. We could get more than 50 mil. So I don't want him to go anywhere.
What side? I don't know about that, man.
I was going to say.
You take the money, Artie.
50 mil was pushing.
Artie, you take it.
That's what's the reach. 50 mil's a reach.
Would I take the money?
Yeah.
No, I like Quansah.
Okay.
There's a classy player in there, man. A classy defender in a Van Dijk mold in there. I'm telling you, classy as hell.
You don't need to go there, and the reason why I'm saying we're not in any rush. He got some long-term contract until he's got like some Chelsea contract where I'm sure his contract don't expire until like 2030 or something like that. So there's no rush. There's no rush. So I want him to remain.
Issue is with that. You see, Liverpool wanted that Hussein from Bournemouth. And that didn't come through, so that he went to what do you call it, and he ended up going to Madrid. But that says something then. Yeah. if they're looking at, do you understand, when you've got someone there of Kwanzaa's ability and you're talking about 50 mil?
I think that's more for.
But did I not also see
Gomez?
Yeah, did I not also see though? Maybe I'm going mad, but in on the social media that Slot said that he's not interested in Kwanzaa going anywhere.
Yeah, yes.
I'm sure I saw something like that.
There was talk of that. Yeah, there was talk of that. Well, I'm hoping, because I would still like to see how the youngster develops. So send Kwanzaa and Doik to Bournemouth for taking Kirkes.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah.
Jones is another one's got a bit of a question mark by him as well. CW says Kwanzaa ain't staying. Didn't look happy in the trophy celebrations. I would rather keep Gomez, but Gomez fitness is the issue, and Kwanzaa not been the same since Klopp left, in my opinion.
The thing is, even with Gomez can play centre back, right back, and he's played left back. Kwanzaa's played centre back and right back as well, you know. So that's what I said. He don't need to go anywhere. He doesn't need to go anywhere.
Okay.
And he never looks happy, to be fair. He's got one of those faces.
Yeah, he's got one of those miserable faces.
Yeah, he never looks happy.
Like he just swallowed a bee. And said we won't get rid of too many homegrown players without replacing them light for light. Don't know how close to the quota you are. Of course, yeah, that's very true. We mentioned that before, that we have to remember about that quota as well of homegrown players. So yeah, we need to stay to that as well. Desby is another one who says he loves Gomez, but fitness cannot be trusted. Maybe a change of scenery will do him good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if he eat some dumpling and yam, that might do him good. Of course, we got money. Said it for years. We have 300 million guaranteed, 180 million for winning the league, and 110 what we were going to spend on Caicedo. I read somewhere that it was 56 something mil in the extras and perks we got for winning the league. Imagine that, 56 mil. Stoney in transfer negotiations saying more than 50 mil for Kwanzaa. The club of mine would say taking the mick. You're damn right. Like exchanging 100 club match attack card for McDonald's toy. You're right.
Chris, you're coming here trolling me, man.
In today's market, he's worth 70 mil.
Thank you, Fitzwarren. That's what I'm trying to say. I am saying the same thing. He's a young British arm defender who can play in a series of positions. That is, I'm correct in saying that.
It's about a series of positions, bro. Centre back and right back. That's two.
Series, man. Series. Trust me.
I'll be honest. I'm surprised that you're almost getting double for him, or they're that potentially you're looking at double for him than Kelleher. I know they're two different positions, but Kelleher over 3 or 4 years now, when he's got his chance, has shown that he's a top goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? The fact that you're talking about 20 million for him and 50 million for Kwanzaa, and that's not a disrespect to Kwanzaa, as I think we've all said we'd like to keep him, but 50 mil, nah.
The main thing I was saying is because of the premium on British players. I mean, on English players. That's what I was saying for the extra premium. But we'll watch this space, man.
35 million at best.
No way.
When you say 50 million is a steal and a scam, like Ivan Brewster.
All I'm saying is we've got Edwards and Richard Hughes.
Ben
I'm telling you.
That's another one. Yeah, but
we'll get that money, man.
So another one is Tsimikas to Leeds. That's another one that Leeds are very interested in. What's that going to be? What, about 5 mil?
I don't know.
Why is man laughing? I don't understand.
I don't even think we're going to get 5 mil for him.
Wow.
We won't even get
5 mil. I think 12 million. You'd get about 12 million for him. 12 million is like the equivalent of a 1988 250,000, isn't it? Do you get what I mean? In today's market.
Do you know what I thought he was going to say? That's the equivalent of 1988 Ford Capri or Cortina or something. Boy.
Astra GTE.
Man said I'd rather Benteke than Nunes. Might have a point there, boy. I tell you. Might have a bloody point, mate. Okay. So, gentlemen, I did say to you a few weeks back, I know you haven't done it, but I'm going to give you a few minutes because I'm going to talk about something else briefly. But while I'm doing that, I need you to be thinking. If you want to get a pen and paper, you can jot it down. And I'm not talking about media, your brethren, WhatsApp group. I'm talking about you personally. Who do you want gone and who do you want coming in? Not what the media says or what's predicted. I want your thoughts on what you would like. Obviously realistic, what you would like for this team going forward. So while you are doing that, I'll give you a chance to think. You can have a look at this. So in the Klopp's last season, just before Arnie took over, there's some stats that show how they match up. So goals, exactly the same. Imagine that. 86 goals. Expected goals was expected higher by Klopp's team, 89.3. Slightly less by Slopp's team, and we scored slightly more, which is a good thing. Goals conceded was exactly the same. Imagine that. Goals scored and conceded exactly the same. XG conceded. There's a bit of a big gap there. Possession. Now they're saying that we play more possession football under Slot, but it shows that Klopp had the better possession. 60.9% and only 57.6% under Slot. And everyone seems to think that we play a bit more possession football. So long passes was only slightly more under Slot. And the distance we covered, obviously, that was always going to be more by Klopp's team. But it's not that much more. It's not that much more, to be fair. So are any of you surprised by these comparisons? Or did you think it was a lot different?
I'm surprised by the possession.
Yes.
But then saying that it had been noted by several pundits during the course of the season that Slot plays in 3 or 4 different ways in a game. So there'll be times when he will allow the other team to have possession and then counter. So that potentially makes more sense as to why we do have less possession at that point, if that makes sense. The football's a little bit more conservative, isn't it?
Yes.
In what we play with under Slot. So it says a lot then about efficiency. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
What you're seeing in Slot's what you're seeing with Slot is the efficiency in terms of the goals and how it's worked. It's all economical.
Okay, Stoney.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I wasn't even thinking about the stats between them. I really wasn't. I think I'm going to be very, very, very honest. I think it was one of those where we made a transition from Klopp to Slot, and I just wanted us to be in the conversation. So all of the stats that you've presented there are new to me, and I'm going to be honest. I'm just still happy when we finish. Stats aside, I don't mind.
No, what I'm saying is, I know.
I just have to be honest.
What I'm saying is, watching how we played and all the conversations people have been having, you would have thought that our possession would have been a lot more than when you look at the stats compared to. You'd have thought we'd had more possession compared to. Everybody was saying, "Oh yeah, we seem to be more possession based, blah blah blah," than Klopp, blah blah blah. But then you look at that now, and it wasn't. So, what are we watching?
Yeah, I think one of the things that Slot And he's, you know, I find quite fascinating with him is he seems to be so open to provide discussions about the way he wants Liverpool to actually play. And sometimes I think you're an amazing person. Please don't give too much away. I don't know sometimes whether I'm being petty. I think I'm being petty. I'm thinking you don't need to give it that. So one of the things that he mentioned was about the distances between players in terms of passing. And he was changing the distance between the players, which meant that they were having to run as much in certain areas, which meant that that would be supporting us with fatigue and certain injuries, XYZ. So going back to what you were originally just saying there, Artie, about the possession based, could it have been because our players were now playing closer that we were then able to have the same amount of possession than when Klopp was playing in his own way, in his own image? I don't know, but yeah, it didn't seem like it. But I tell you what, though, in the second half of games, it probably did. I know at the opening of the show, you were asking us to speak about what we thought about the Crystal Palace game, and I mentioned it. But one of the things that we've seen this season is it's almost a seem Slot is the team set up, and then he's observing everything and absorbing everything. And then at halftime, if there's any changes he needs to make, they're just so calculated and they get implemented to near enough perfection. And then we sweep forward and we're victorious. And he seemed to do it in so many games this season. And that's one thing that I think was actually quite fascinating watching him. He's just there absorbing so much information. And then we change the way in which we play in the second half. I look at it two ways. Does it mean because his tactics were incorrect in the first half? Or is it mean that he's always good in the second half? I don't know.
Never know.
But he's very good
now as well. He might now have the experience of having played against certain teams. He's like, okay, I've got a better idea of how to approach that game now as well. Remember, this is his first time in it, so
yes,
never know. Okay, let's have a look at some comments. Go on, Vinny. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, but touching on something Stoney said about Slot, there was recently who was it who said it? Was it Ruud Gullit or someone? Someone said recently that Marco van Basten had spent some time with Slot, and Marco van Basten was in awe, basically, of Slot's thought process about the game. And this is Marco van Basten talking. You know, I think Marco van Basten is either a UEFA or FIFA technical advisor or expert or something like that. So, and we know, we know his level of greatness. But he said that his mouth was open wide at times when Slot was talking about the game. It was like, this is the most intelligent footballing man I've had conversation with.
Okay. So CW goes on to say 10 million for the Greek Alberto Moreno at best. Kwanzaa needs to come out of his shell, says Fitzwarren. And as far as we're talking about who we want in and out, Chris says in Frimpong, Iheanacho, Kirkes, Varela, Witzer, Goikes, or Ekatike. Out Kelleher, Kwanzaa, Tsimikas, Endo, Elliott, Jota, Nunes. Okay, see,
that's a massive window, isn't it?
But is that players who you actually want to go? That's the question. Doctor won't believe me, but I'd rather keep Diaz over Jota and Nunes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'm happy with that, Chris.
Yeah. I'm definitely happy with that. 100% happy with that. Slot is more adaptable than Klopp. Seeing Slot change it up a number of games this season, especially when not going our way. Doesn't take long to do it as well, for real. Roshi, Don Preds better be enjoying his holes because this summer window is going to be a mad one. Too right. Oh, and Chris said yes, he does actually want them to go. So okay, cool.
Okay.
That's cool. Yeah, man. Big shouts goes out to Preds out there in sunny Turkey. Bro, if you come back with a new set of Nashers, and a new hairdo, bro, I swear, and a BBL. We're gonna be having words. Trust me, we are gonna be having words. I'm telling you. Trust me, bro. All right, gentlemen. So, are you ready now for who you want to go and who you want to stay? Yeah. Okay. Anybody want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right, Stoney.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go first. And the only reason why I'm going to do this is because
that's what I want first.
All right.
Who do you want to go this first?
Oh, crumbs. Yeah, good. You're doing it hard. All right. Okay. Darwin Núñez to move on.
Top of the list.
Yeah. Darwin to move on. Elliot to move on. And these are for different reasons, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Darwin to move on because I think he's had more than enough time and opportunities for us to see what he's capable of doing. And I just don't think. Yeah, I just think that he's hit his level, and it's not the level that we know we need somebody to hit at Liverpool. So I want him to flourish somewhere else, but it's not going to be with us. Harvey Elliott, I want to move on just for him. And the reason why I say just for him, I don't think he's going to be able to get the game time that he thinks that he would need at Liverpool. So I think it would be best that he moves on. And that's a sale. That's a sale, not a loan. So I want him to move on. What's best for him? Tsimikas to move on. He's had more than enough time at Liverpool as well. He's always going to be the backup. That's fine. Tsimikas to move on and Gomez to move on as well. I like Kelleher, but I don't think it's going to make any sense us having 3 goalkeepers there. And I think if we purchased a goalie from Valencia, went out on loan, he comes back, I think he's going to be deemed to actually be playing for the number 1 spot. So I think Kelleher deserves to be somewhere where he can be the number 1 goalie. So so those players to move on for different reasons. Players to come in.
No. Breaks. Stick up in.
Oh, sorry.
Tony.
Go.
Vinny.
All right. Okay.
Players to go.
Okay. To be honest with you, very, very similar. Kelleher, because I think he's earned the right to go and get a number 1 spot elsewhere. You know, hopefully he don't come back to haunt us, but you know, he's been a good servant to Liverpool. So, you know, I think that Núñez, because you know, for 2 seasons I was one of his biggest supporters, but it's just not materialised in the way that I would like it to. And I think he needs a fresh start. He needs to go somewhere else. Elliot, I know he was one of Klopp's favourites. I just don't know. I could be wrong for saying this. I'm not the biggest person myself, but I just think that physically, size and stature, he's gonna get bossed around in games. I don't think he's able to dominate games in a way that there could mostly be people out there of equal talent, but who hold a more physical presence. So again, I think he needs to now go and further his career, because he could be an England international. He could be in the England squad. I think he's got to think about his career and breaking into that England squad elsewhere. Jota, because injury prone and he was slipping towards the end of last season, mate. So what was going on? Mm-hmm. A guy we haven't mentioned, a guy we haven't seen, but the big talk, but we've not really seen what's coming. It's going to be that guy Calvin Ramsey. Is it Ramsey? Calvin Ramsey will be the DJ. Yeah. Yeah. He needs to go. I've got to contradict myself here, but again, I'm going to say for the sake of his career and him being a great servant, Gomez. I think Gomez needs to go and get the fruits of his career elsewhere, because I don't think he's going to get it as a first team at Liverpool.
Okay. All right.
And then Tsimikas as well. Tsimikas, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 1 minute. We're coming back to Stoney in a minute. Obviously, CW says, obviously, I put first team players I want gone. Morton, Doak, and them don't count for me. They'll probably be gone anyway. Big shouts goes out to Doctor. Couldn't be with us today.
Mr. Blake, Dr. Blake.
Nice one, my bro. He says, you reckon Elliot back to Fulham? My opinion. He also wanted to take Nunes with him. Shah isn't even injury prone, more bothered about playing FIFA. Ramsey, another Ben Davies, ended up being a kit model. Absolutely. Okay, Stoney, who do you want to come in now?
Right. So this, but when you ask us, you never put on realistically at the end, you know. You just changed up the question. You never put realistically. You said, who do I want to come in, man?
You didn't listen. I did say realistically. Let's be realistic.
All right. So I'm going to give you.
Wait, don't be talking about. Yeah, I want Mbappe for 400 million.
No. So I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you 5 players that I would like, and 1 player that I think would be unrealistic. All right. So 6 players. Okay. Yeah.
Never plays by the rules. I tell you.
I know, but all right. So different positions. So even though I know we've just has Frimpong already been signed already?
Thank you, Chris. You see that, Stoney? Thank you, Chris.
Did you say really?
Someone was listening.
Chris is just coming in and making big trouble, you know. So even though I know we've got Bradley and we brought in Frimpong, there's still another young right back that I would like for us to get. He's currently playing for Feyenoord. Reed, he's 18. I'd like for us to sign him, because I still think that Bradley's going to have a very indifferent season this season. I don't think he's going to have the season we actually think he is at right back, and I don't think Ramsey's going to Ramsey coming back to us. I don't think he's going to do much for us. So Reed, I can't remember his first name, but he's Dutch anyway. He plays at right back for Feyenoord. I'd like him. I think I mentioned before about the Italian striker that plays for Atalanta, Rotario. Yeah, he's got mad stats. So I'd like Reed at right back, Matteo as a striker. The other striker that plays for Frankfurt, I can't pronounce his name, but Hugo.
Ekitike.
You know what I'm talking about?
Ekitike.
Yeah, Ekitike. Yeah. I would still like us to get Jerchi from Lyon, you know, as the other forward. I'd love if we could actually get him.
This guy.
Okay, I know. I'd love if we could get him. Sporting Lisbon have got another Dutch centre back at the moment, Jeremy Justud. I'd like for us to get him as well, because I know that Gomez would move on. And the unrealistic would be Osimhen.
Okay, I don't know about Osimhen, man.
So I'm saying those are my 6.
Right.
So I've got a right back, centre back. I've got 2 strikers, a forward, and then an unrealistic striker. So those would be mine.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Blake.
Yo, people. Apologies. Hey, listen.
As soon as you heard transfers.
Listen. If Fabian Wirtz comes through the door, that means nothing is unrealistic. Nothing. But boy, if we get that over the line, that is the best signing any club in Europe or the world will make this transfer window.
I know, because of his age as well. Longevity, man.
Age,
do you know what?
Quality, no one's making a better signing. Nobody.
Yeah. He would be the closest player, for me, in my eyes, he would be the closest player that and we're speaking about me, that I remember in his prime when he was younger about Mario Götze. So that's why I would be happy if we were to get in. That's why I'd be happy. Okay. I used to love Götze.
All right. So, Vinny, who you want right away, yeah?
Well, mine's going to be quite boring. It's already who we got or we're looking at. So I'm going to start with obviously Frimpong. which seems like it's a done deal. Kirkes, which seems like it's coming through. Alvarez, or if we can't get Alvarez, Enteke. And then obviously Bertza. However, there was in the last 24 hours, I don't know if it's just people chatting for the sake of chatting, but Real Madrid apparently are taking an interest in Bertza now.
Yeah, I saw that as
Yeah.
well. I saw
And
that.
if that was the case, then Rodrigo.
Mm.
Man said Vinny's going to say Sterling.
Conway, man, is too much.
I love Conway.
Hey, doctor. Man said, here we go. Career mode.
I know, he's on me. He's on me. Now, the thing is, yeah, you see, Chris, 3 weeks ago, if I had said, let's sign Fabian Wirtz, man would be like, here we go. Career mode. Not like there's no more career mode than Wirtz, boy.
I hear that.
No more career mode than Wirtz. Actually, in saying that, I didn't even sign Wirtz yet on career mode because it costs too much money. Like, I didn't even sign him yet.
Big shouts goes out to Conway, mate. Big shouts goes out to you. Conway, good, man. All right, so doctor, I don't know if you heard the question, but the question was not about what the media are saying or what people are saying, your WhatsApp groups or your brethren are saying. What would you want to come into Liverpool, and what would you want gone? Not what people are talking about.
Yeah.
You personally.
How many signings do we have?
No,
5?
it's what do you want gone, and what do you want to come in? Really? Be
Okay.
real.
So,
we did the out first. We did the outgoings first.
yeah. So obviously Kelleher 100.
Hold on, what you actually want him gone? That's the question.
Yeah, simply because I feel like he's good enough to be first team somewhere.
You said everything what the other man them said.
We've signed somebody who is better than him with more potential. Now, I think Mamashvili already is at a higher level than Kelleher personally. And I think, look, the fact that they made that their first signing, right? Because we've seen as Liverpool fans what having mediocre to good to great goalkeepers does for our club, right? So I just think, like the days of Millionaire and Karius and all that. So I just think it makes sense that they prioritize a elite goalkeeper because, like we said, but like before Alisson, bro, having to hear about what's his name again? Karius and his bloody concussion and maybe he did have concussion, but bloody hell, that was awful. Last night, seeing Adrian with some of them saves for Betis, misses, should I say? Yeah, horrible. So, left back. So I'd say I would sell Robbo. No, I'm lying. I'd sell Costas, Kelleher. Obviously, Trent's going. Midfield, I would let go of out of the main dudes, I guess. Elliot, Endo, up top. I'm definitely keeping Darwin Núñez. Elliot.
We always knew you were a fan. Always knew you was a fan.
Elliot, Núñez. Chiesa has to go. If Bayern was serious about Cody, I'd let go of Cody as well.
What?
Doctor, we're gonna have no players in your squad next season. Who are you gonna? Slot's gonna have to sign us for up next season. We're gonna have no players.
So I let go of Cody. So what's that? So Cody,
Elliot,
Chiesa,
Núñez,
Cody, Chiesa, Núñez, Jota. Yeah. So
that's 5 along there.
So I'd keep. So I'm keeping Diaz, obviously. Yes, I'm keeping Diaz. I'm keeping Mo. I'm signing a TK to be my main number 9. I'm signing Mbeumo to rotate with Mo and rotate with a TK. That's my 4. And then my 5th, Chris Welch. I'm signing Nico Williams. That's my career mode signing. And then if Wirtz plays from the left or Wirtz then plays 10, and then
look at that, doctor.
See, he knows. He knew it. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, I'm signing Mbeumo, a TK, and Nico Williams, and I'd take the youth from Crystal Palace. I think he's dope.
You take who? Sorry, from Palace?
What's his name? Adam Wharton. I think he's class.
Oh, yeah, okay. Someone was mentioning that about, but he gets a lot of injuries.
Is it because he's just plying his trade? I mean, he's still quite young though, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he's had like hamstring injuries and like muscular injuries like that. I think it's been more like impact stuff and like niggles and that like.
Okay.
But so yeah, if we were to, yeah, that's what I would do. I would do that to the forward line. I'd sign Wharton, sign Wirtz, and then the 2 fullbacks, and I would actually leave the centre backs until next season.
Okay.
Was that 6? 2 fullbacks, midfield, 3 up front, 6. But equally, if we was to keep one of the forwards, then yeah, I actually think that we'll sign 5 players, but I could be wrong.
I'll just say this: I ain't letting Gakpo go. No chance. No chance. Sorry. No. Gakpo stays for me. Out of the forward line, the players who are going for me is Darwin and Jota because he can't stay fit. Them two have to go.
Chiesa?
Yeah, Chiesa can go as well. Sorry, yeah, Chiesa can go as well. Because you know what?
I'll keep him. I'll keep him. I would.
Thank you, Vinny. Keep him. £10 million. You know, that's not hurting nobody's pocket. Keep him, and let's see what you can do next season. I agree with you, Vinny.
That's Dr. Rick Williams because they have to say this. Liberties.
He actually has blonde tips, bro. My tips are black. My white tips are black.
You actually don't mind your list apart from Gakpo and his replacement. So your list ain't bad. And
you know what?
Con says, listen to this, Blake. You can tell he's got a Jamaican heritage.
You know what? I like Cody, yeah, but I just think if we go with a TK, something about Cody that I just need some pace and some intensity in that front line, and I just think between Cody and Mo, no one's really electric there anymore, and I just feel like I wouldn't mind just like a little 5+ on the pace department. But I wouldn't actively like try and sell Cody. But obviously, if Bayern were serious about him, then yeah, depending on what they were to offer, I guess what I'm saying is I'd rather keep Diaz over Cody.
Okay.
Well, not me. You're literally out of those two, I'd rather keep Cody.
I do think Diaz has got a better injury record, and I guess he's a bit more. Well, actually, no. Cody can play in their positions as well. So I guess it's just preference. Look, I accept Cody is more consistent in terms of what he does than Diaz. He's just a bit. I don't know, man. I think sometimes with Cody, I just need him to be a bit more intense on the pitch, man. He's just a bit like it's like Cody. Yeah.
He's a man of the piece. He's a man of the book. You don't see he's into the church.
I see it.
He's got a nice, calm conduct, and I think that's his character. We're not going to get that fire through him, but I would definitely.
I hear it. Listen, I think Cody's a class player. So yeah, like I'm not actively trying to sell him at all. I actually think he's good. I guess this is just like we're talking about what would you do if you could do everything, right? Mm. And yeah, Cody rarely survives my FIFA career mode, and it rarely survives it.
Okay.
Wow.
It rarely survives it still. I lie.
Okay. All right. So, interesting. It's going to be an interesting summer. Very interesting summer. But I like the way how we've started off. I like what we're looking at already. And I must say, it seems like they want to get business done early. And when you're hearing it from the man like Mr. Romano himself, you have to take these things serious.
Proper.
So,
and I think, although sometimes because all these talks have started so early and seem so intense, as the days go on, you're almost like, oh my gosh, what's going on? We haven't heard anything now. It's drying up a bit. Is there going to be something? Is it going to fall through? There's that sort of feeling. But I think the way these guys are going to work this is a couple of things they've said. The transfer window opens on June 1st. So nothing's going to be announced officially before June 1st. That's one. And two, I think they're most probably, rather than put the pressure on one player, doing a one player promo release for the transfer and another. I think they're going to do like a 3-in-1. Here you go, 3 people, press conference, bang, 3 people promotion, and do it like that.
Okay, so he says Diaz over Jota Nunez. I agree with him. I'm sick of the two of them, to be honest. And Conway goes on to say, Gakpo style, he's always cutting inside. He's easy to read. What attacking movement is he going to do? Des B says, keep both Diaz and Cody, because Diaz can also play up front. It's not his best position, though, but yeah. And luckily, career mode is fantasy and not real life, then, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, Chris. In my career road, Man U have never finished 15th for me. So like, real life doing madness at the moment, I tell you. Real life at the moment. Because Liverpool is set to spend £120 million on a elite playmaker. Like a playmaker who, in my opinion, is a generational talent. And I would say, like for me, I think he's the best in the world in terms of all of these guys who play 10. I'm taking him over all of them. Musiala, Jude, like whoever you want to put up for me. I think as a number 10 works. Like I think he's got levels on all of them. Like levels. Like I just think, I think this guy's crazy. And I want to say a gift from God, but that sounds a bit too much still. But I think the kid is special player.
Listen, let's just hope that we get this thing done. Yeah, that's all I'm praying for, that we just get this thing done. And then I'll be happy. I just want it done. I just want to see the yellow bar on flipping
and it's done, isn't it?
Sky Sports and say yes. It's a done deal.
Yeah. Because I did see something on the website quickly saying apparently because of Trent leaving after we won the title, like FSG Edwards, like whoever it was, almost said we need to make a statement signing to show that like Liverpool brand is still strong. And they thought that Trent leaving in his pomp, could be a bad thing for the brand. So
good point.
Yeah.
And on that note, Real Madrid have offered €5 million to get Trent to leave early. To join up with them early.
Oh, because I want him for the World Club Cup.
Yeah, really shaking his head. All right.
It's like 50 pence, isn't it? It's like 50 pence.
It's about 2 mil in sterling.
Nah. Just don't make him go nowhere. That can't do nothing.
That's what McDonald's could be doing.
That's what I'm saying. For that 5 mil, you could buy two Kaisers for that, innit?
But
okay, question. Is there a price that you would let him go for then?
What, let him leave early for?
Yeah.
Give me 10.
10, 15.
Yeah.
15, you know? Like, let him go a month early.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I will say, I know we're coming to the end, but about branding, all right, and what Dr. Blake touched on. I think, obviously, with the exception of the tragic events on Monday evening, what the world saw in terms of Liverpool Football Club and how many people turned up to watch a domestic title win would have shown to the world the Liverpool brand on a different level. I really think that people have seen that again. Yep. They've seen us have big celebrations before, like the Champions League. They've seen how many people, nearly 1 million people in the Champions League. But seeing that 1.5 million people, train stations, jam-packed, that's gone around the world. People have seen that and thought, is that what football means to that city? Is that what football means to that club? So I think that's going to take our brand to a whole nother level.
Good point. Very good point. Seriously, yep. Yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah, we
Players looking at that will be like, you know what? I want some of that adulation.
Right.
I
Yeah.
want some of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Serious.
So, just in case, like, obviously, like I may have missed some of it. So, who did everyone want to sign as their main number 9?
I went for
That's his
Alvarez.
main number 9.
Alvarez and Ekatike.
Alvarez and TK.
Yeah.
Tony?
And then remember, I was saying the Atalanta striker,
Oh yes, the Atalanta striker as well.
the Matteo. I could never
Yeah.
forget his surname, but I still like him. That would be for me.
Rigegi, whoever his name is.
Yeah.
So I saw this breakdown. So I think he's got 25 league goals, right? And
Yeah.
it's something like the split of his goals are 10 right foot, 10 left foot, and 5 headers. That's mad.
Wow.
That's mad.
Doctor, remember I kept saying to you about this guy is
That's
serious.
mad, bro.
He is serious.
That's crazy levels, you know.
That is.
I saw that.
Same
I said,
before.
what?
He is serious. I've been saying it for a little while.
That's-
is who I'd like.
Like, that's a clinical striker.
嗯
10 right, 10 left, and 5 in the head. Okay.
That's mad, bro.
Mm.
That is,
Just
Tony, you done some scouting
Just a-
there, bro.
Just a quick note before I do forget. So Johnny Heitinga is going to be moving on as one of our
Yeah.
assistant
Yeah.
managers. I mean, when Slot came in, he came with 2 assistant managers anyway. Does anybody know whether Slot will be replacing Johnny or whether he's just going to remain with 1 assistant?
I saw a post on Instagram earlier today with the guy they think he's potentially looking at. The unfortunate thing is I didn't save the post and I can't remember the gentleman's name. But yes, there is rumours of another person coming in.
Yeah, so I seen 2 names linked. The first one I can't recall what his name is, but it was Slot's assistant manager at Feyenoord. I think when Slot left, he went to go and manage in the Ukrainian league, but because of the conflict with Russia, he's had to leave his post, so he's going to be available. So I think there's rumors that maybe Slot might approach him. And then the second name that I saw was flipping dirt. Cow, bro. Cow. I was like, oh, bro.
He's been managing somewhere though, isn't he?
I was like, but you know what?
He has been managing somewhere.
But you know, yeah, like he might be a outstanding manager, and I guess, or I mean, coach, should I say, or assistant manager. And yeah, I can't let the fact that his first touch was awful like mean that he's not going to be a great coach. So,
And he's Dutch. He's Dutch as well. Imagine that. The Dutch
Man,
ran with a 4 first touch. Yeah.
Innit?
like,
Do you know what other name I saw? Thiago.
yeah, there you go.
Which
Yeah,
Thiago?
Sick note Thiago.
No way.
Yeah. Thiago Alcantara. Yeah.
So is he at Barca now or something? Or was there talk of him going Barca?
I'm not sure where he is, but that's another name that was mentioned. But I think, again, I saw that on Instagram. You know, people just throw those names out there, innit? But, you know.
Didn't even know he was managing.
Okay. Well, peoples, thank you very much. Doctor, for your great 5 minutes of input.
Cheers. Sorry.
Yeah, them
Date night.
superstar appearances, you know what I mean?
Date night.
Yeah, man.
Birthday blessings, Dr. Blake. Birthday blessings.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know, like I went to see that Final Destination film.
For real.
I'd probably recommend it still. It was all right.
Okay.
All right.
VW, thanks for bringing your wealth of knowledge to us once again.
No, thank you for having me on, gentlemen. Thank you.
VW, always a blessing, bro.
Likewise.
Brother Stoney.
Bless, as he said, look, thanks. It was good to be back. As I said, I've been away for a little while and it hurts not actually being on a show. So yeah, thanks once again to Artie for hosting. It was brilliant, man. So thank you, sir.
No problem. And like I said, people, do keep it locked because we will be back with the transfer updates and transfer news, especially if we do some quality signings. Trust me, we'll definitely be here to gloat at the Manx.